Good, sorry. Good morning. We are about to hear from Stephen Beels, the former detective sergeant in the Special Demonstration Squad. Stephen Beels was one of the back office staff, a detective sergeant. He was a cover officer for Carlo Ceracchi and a number of others. He famously went on these trips to Italy that Ceracchi took, which were blatantly just romantic trips, but supposedly operational. We've been told by the previous witness, Mike Dell, that Stephen Beels is an impressive officer. We'll see how impressive he is. You looking forward to it, Donald?
I am actually. I think Beels is going to be one of the interesting sergeants. Like the inquiry seems to think the sergeants aren't that important, but they're at the coal face. They see everything, they know everything, and they cover up everything. There's going to be a lot of awkward questions, I think. So, well, I think we'll see very early on what sort of officer he's going to be, whether his memory has collapsed. All those years of really hard detective work will probably take incredible toll on his ability to remember anything.
I mean, I'm expecting the same. He was in the special branch for 31 years, so he was, he had a fairly long career. It was right at the end of his career, his SDS deployment,
and not just that, he leaves. I think it's January 2008 when the unit closes, which will be an interesting.
So he was there right at the end.
And he gets a job with a private security company running undercover infiltrators in London Rising Tide.
Yes, it's C21, is it?
C2I.
C2I, that's
it. Veronica, very cool. There was another company connected. Rebecca Todd and Toby Kendall were the names of the people that were in London Rising Tide and also tried to get into Plain Stupid. So it's the same set of groups that Beels is overseeing at Special Branch. It goes on to target private. So there's lots of questions. Well, hopefully the inquiry will actually ask these questions.
Yeah, because it's outside the terms of reference. So it's going to be interesting how much that area gets explored at all. They have asked plenty of questions outside of their terms of reference in the past.
Well, it gets to the wider narrative, and there's those questions, even though private security is outside the reference, like if you're going to talk about blacklisting, and the passing of intelligence on firms, it's like this is a key route. So how much was he involved in blacklisting workers or doing checks on workers, or how much there is the whole industry, and it goes back to a lot of the questions we've seen around McLibel. There's it's part of that thread that's been running through all of this.
Yeah, and how much intelligence does he take from the police into the private sector?
Yeah, it's like if you're running an undercover in a group and then you go in private, it's like you tell me you knew nothing about London Rising Tide before.
Right, yeah. I think it is the trips to Italy though with Carlo Ceracchi that are going to be one of the main areas. We've heard so much about them. I kind of feel like I went to Venice with them at this stage. I've seen so many photos and heard so many small details of that trip.
Yeah, but it's also, we're going to probably have a look at Donald McLean's rent book.
Yes.
We'll probably, quite often we discuss relationships or discuss inquiry, it's in the broad terms or in the gratuitousness of the actual relationship itself. This is the state structure around it, and it's a different angle that's quite interesting. I think we'll see a lot of denials about who knew what.
Yes,
unfortunately, but the evidence is there on paper.
It really is. And yesterday, Mike Dell suggested to Mitting that perhaps it was a fraudulent scheme between Beels and Ceracchi to inflate the rent numbers and then split the difference.
And Mitting actually said he hadn't. But this is a great cover. But there's similar questions. It's like the trip to Venice. I think. He was in Verona. He wasn't even in the same city, if I remember the evidence rightly. It's just like he's on his own little jaunt. He's
fair Verona.
He's up to his neck in the corruption, and let's be clear about it. This is corruption. This is a unit that's been told they can do what it wants, and they're going, yeah, let's have holidays. And so big leaving parties. You can go to Australia, you can go to France, you can go to Argentina. And we're just like random trips on holidays. Like, there's no way this wasn't a big pattern and the sergeants didn't know about it. And I would say possibly even, hey, I fancy a trip. Do you want to
Yeah. Yeah, it's an ideal setup, isn't it? You know what I mean? It's like, oh, we all get to go on holiday. Let's work something out together.
And then you got the DCI saying, "Oh, just create paperwork to cover your tracks." That was the shocking thing. It's like, you're the DCI. You're meant to be not worried about embarrassing the auditors, but actually have proper paperwork. And you was, oh, back office just maybe created it. What does that say about unprofessional management?
Yeah. Unlike the previous detective sergeants, Beels is being given a full day. Well, I say a full day. It's meant to be finished by 4, so it'll be slightly early finish. The previous sergeants have been just given half days. Hopefully that suggests that there's a lot more to be asked of him, that the inquiry is going to spend more time on him. We see with the witnesses that it takes a while to break down their pre-rehearsed line. Hopefully we'll get through whatever nonsense Beels has decided he's going to throw up at the beginning, and get into actually making him being a bit uncomfortable and being forced to answer some questions about stuff that he doesn't really want to talk about.
There's a lot he's not going to want to talk about.
Yeah, there is.
He has been properly set up.
Yeah. Okay. Well, the hearing will start at 10, which means the broadcast should start at 10:15. We'll be covering in the same way we always do. Please watch along if you can. The link is in the description. If you're on, I'll leave it as a comment on Twitter in a minute. If you're able to, please, follow, tell us what you think. You use social media, use the hashtag SpyCops to pass comment. I'll be doing more videos in the lunch break, in the breaks throughout the day, and at the end of the day. Is there anything else you want to add? Thanks for joining us. Please like, share, subscribe, all that.